people, aesthetic revolution is happening out there. Why? Because keeping yourself always put together and being judged by a certain standard make the modern living very difficult these days. So the new normal is brutalism. What that means, it offends the feeling of pretty and decent and celebrates the naked reality just as it is. So the good side is that makes us stronger, makes us more tolerant, and makes us honest. Basically, brutalism releases the inner alter ego or your deepest self and make our spirit stronger to face the reality and the environment and releases our deepest thoughts. So savage, harsh, unapologetic, or trend of unmaking. Some will even tell you that brutal design doesn't contain any images in his severe designs, and the lack of symmetry and spacing literally lock you in a jail of visual mistakes to get your attention. So people often ask us, is brutalism just an excuse to get away with a bad design, or is it intentionally ugly? Why is this design so satisfying for human nature? Because every 4 or 5 people have intrusive thoughts, or those are the thoughts that we have that we are embarrassed to say, or we can say to very close, intimate friend because they are either destructive, they are either shameful, or either abnormal, and literally make us feel like we're mad, but it's totally normal. The brutalism helps people deliberate from what others expect from you. So it mixes radical design with insanity. So it offends also the common sense of pretty and decent. One of the most interesting things about brutalism is that actually increases your sales because the more complex the design, the more difficult the people to understand it and they just abandon the site or they leave your shop. On one side, this brutalism is captivating because it's weird and you just cannot get rid of it. And on the other side is interesting and keeps your attention on the track. So it's a great sales tool. Today, perfection is boring and overrated, and brutalism is just what we need, or imperfect and very authentic. What is the psychology behind this? So the main factors why brutalism became so popular is because it gives us freedom and it gives us the chance to experiment. But the most important thing is that brutalism gives you right to have fun. We live in a cocooning era, or we are so scared of political instability, resistant diseases, crazy weather outside, so we find our inner peace only when we're at home. And the good side of this brutalism is that it makes us stronger to face the environment. So you think that this is ugly? Think again. Because brutalism makes us more tolerant to accept the reality just as it is. We will be able in future to tolerate annoying events like insects, wrinkles, white hair, diseases, dirt, or unarticulated face expressions because all they are just part of normal life. And after we get stronger from self-isolation, the trend of cocooning goes into making a cluster, or we're going to create community bubbles of people who are very similar with their interests like us. It basically makes us more outgoing and we start living our best version of our life. We stop looking for meaning in the surrounding. So brutalism totally allows you to accept things as they are or give you the power of it's okay to not know. Brutalism sticks a little bit to existentialism because it covers only what is essential or what is necessary. And it lacks emotional connection, and overall most of the design seems cold. So often it's being described like cold or like it doesn't have soul. They even call it heartless design, which is pretty brutal. It's a raw art, and on this example you can see that it accents monochromatic colors, so one color, one place. It uses a lot of angles and it keeps the things unfinished. We're going to make a semi-designed product. So here's one very good example how brutalism got deep into our normal living, shows the basic structure of the things or just their bones. People are getting back to unprocessed food or same diet like people like our primitive ancestors just to stay healthy. And by getting rid of aesthetics, we complicate our life less. it loses function with time because it gives you so much liberty of the products that sometimes they lose their basic function just to look cool, like these spectacles that are cut on half. As we used to know, that will cover the visual field. It gives you freedom. So example like these Lego dots that are placed on a jacket, and it allows you to play with when you're upset or bored, or even invite the surrounding to play with your Lego with the back pocket on the back of side of your jacket. It's fun, it opens topic of discussion, and it makes it very social design. It supports bare existence, so you're gonna see that it's just a necessary structure, what you really need. This good example is capsule apartments in Tokyo, or as we know them, coffin homes in Hong Kong, which means you have just enough space in the apartment to put just one bed and nothing more. Brutalism show things non-refined, or as they are. We can see this in the new advertising of Benetton collection clothes for humans that shows very authentic situation of human life. They're not censored and they're very natural, and that's okay. As a serial of stories, they expose non-perfect situations of real life, like these kids are playing together but actually they're typing their phone, which is reality. Or this girl is wearing Benetton sweater but it's heartbroken and she's crying in the advertising. Or this girl gets back angry from work on Monday because she had a bad day. So literally it uncovers the naked truth like it is. Job interview is one of the most honest human moments, covering through a fresh, quirky tone of voice. Then you can see a girl being interviewed in home condition and then stand up and she's in an underwear. It's very explicit, but it's like it is. So brutalism shows things non-refined, like they are. It celebrates the imperfection of living. And it's a war against being fake and accepting reality as a beautiful. So it's attempt to look raw, hazard, or even disliked. So because not everybody needs to like you. Here is alter ego, a live performance show in Shanghai that young people are going crazy about. The absurd here is that everybody comments that in the same time they like it, but it's scary and aggressive. So how come this happens? This is because brutalism is discovering deepest thoughts of our alter ego, and of the most provoking thoughts we could only tell to an intimate or very trusted friend. This movement is not new. Its origins is in Europe from half centuries ago, and it's permanently changing society. This is an opening ceremony of Olympic Games in 2012, which was horrifying. It was like a clinic environment, chaos, and screams fill the space. But the good side is that we can sense that facing the fear is becoming the new fancy. Brutalism shows things non-refined, so we said as they are. It celebrates imperfections. And we're going to make semi-designed product like getting back in the Stone Age, like this chair that is non-refined. So the new trend glorifies the damaged and unfinished. It means that it's okay to see history by looking at the object that's being affected by his environment. Trendsetters are changing their profile photos into damaged style, and you can see the focus is put only on the focal point of the photos, which is the most interesting part. Coffee bars, restaurants, public spaces are all half finished, and the garage interior is invading, and also people are using a lot of gold palettes to get on authenticity and history. We can also feel this movement as the most interesting companies' names lately that are absurd and totally nonsense, like this gentle monster or this boring company, because we know that monster cannot be gentle. We're used to monster be scary, not gentle. Or the boring company, every company tries to be interesting and focus your attention. None company would say about herself that is boring, which makes us doubt in our own sanity. We use words who doesn't have any sense. They come from our deepest mind, non-censored, as they are like nowhere, in the middle of nowhere. Dishonest design has become one of the latest trending in Asia and is expanding globally. So how is this happening? It's new. This to shop new products. It's in human nature. They want that fresh feeling. And the consumers are keen to check this fresh, strange aesthetic. It sells the common sense, and it's something that you have never seen before. So we can see brutalism that is glorifying imperfections, like this old lady is almost grandma and it's taken like a model. So it focuses on deep wrinkles, the lady have non-symmetrical face, it shows non-facials or some awkward face expressions, and that's okay because that's what we really are. The philosophy of the brutalism is that children are allowed to dream, they face a challenge, and then they become a star. We can see non-explainable compositions like this, primitive animals put in a scientific environment. Brutalism is provoking unseen attention by blending opposites, like light and dark, like old and young, like there's some awkward face expression, or this animal that is mutated, and we're gonna see a lot of nonsense that is about to become the new normal. Some designs aren't polished like we expect, and they're not clean, yet they still catch your attention. First impression count, and this ugly design is literally invading the website and the stores. You like this new movement, or maybe brutalism is too brutal for you. We want you to think about it. And if you have an interesting topic you want to discuss or you want to know more about, write us in a comment below and we're going to make a video just for you. Until then, have a happy day and an amazing week.